Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to continue our embroidery, and I'm going to give you some variations of the stitches that we've already learned, from the French knots, the lazy daisies, and then I'm going to give you another stitch that will give you great texture and dimension to your project, and that's the Bullion Stitch. So let's get started. Just create with fabric and floss. Okay, so I have my needle threaded with 3 strands of the 720 and the 809. So I have a total of 6 strands in my needle. So we're just going to do a French knot, but because we have 3 of each, it's going to give us a little variation. So we're just going to start down here at the bottom, wrap it 2 times, we'll get back down. We'll do a couple of those. You can see. So there are those ones. Here you can kind of see, I did this with the pink and the yellow, where it gives you the different texture and color variation in there. So next we're going to move on to the double lazy daisy stitch. So here is an example, a couple of them right there. So let's get our thread prepped. For that, you'll need 2 needles, for each, or 1 for each thread, or you can tie off, but I'll talk about that one. Okay, so now we're going to do the double lazy daisy. You just do 1 lazy daisy. But instead of coming real close to each other at the end, you want to leave a little space and then do your normal lazy daisy. And remember to pull toward the way you want your petal to go. And what I do is I go with this color all the way around. So now what I'm going to do is go up with that same hole, so my petals are, close together. Leave a little space. And you would continue that all the way around, just like you would making a normal lazy daisy. I'm going to just pull this thread off to the side here. You would normally continue around and then cut it off. And then you would get your second needle, or if you cut off, you can just thread into that needle. So you'll get your second color. You'll come up in between those two marks, go down next to each other, and then you're going to come up just inside. We did our first tack stitch down. You're gonna pull so that it fits inside your first stitch, and then you're gonna tack it down. So you're gonna come in between the two stitches, and that's just gonna fill that gap that we left. You're gonna come up right before the tack on the first color. Just pull so it lays inside the first set of colors, and then tack it down. So that's the double or two colored lazy daisy, one inside each other, to help give some dimension to your project. Now, the next one, we're going to get our dandelions, and you could do this as a straight stitch with the French knot on the end, but I'm going to show you another way so you can do it all in one step. So typically, you would do your straight stitch. I can zoom in here. So you do your straight stitch, and then you would come up at the end and do your French knot. So you would get something like that. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to come up at the edge, and then we're going to wrap our needle, just like you're going to do a French knot, but instead of going right down beside, you're going to come up to the end of your stitch and put your French knot there. So now you have your straight stitch with your French knot all in one motion instead of doing in two separate. So we'll do that again here. So you're going to come up at the edge and do like you're going to do a French knot, but instead of coming beside, you're going to go to the end of the leaf, petal, whatever you want to call it. So you come up. So you're just doing the straight stitch and the French knot all in one. And then you'll just finish off with the straight stitch going down the stem. Now let's do the one last stitch that you're all probably been waiting for. Is a bullion stitch. So for the bullion stitch, I get 6 strands, and we're going to use pink, and it's very similar to a French knot, but you're wrapping a lot more times and adding a few more steps. Okay, so we have our 6 strands going to come up at the edge, and then you're going to go down, and I'm going to show the sew method first. Then you're going to come down, and then you're just going to bring your needle, but you're not going to pull it all the way through. You're going to leave the eye down at the bottom. You're going to hold the eye, your needle underneath with your finger so it don't move. You're going to use your thumb to hold the thread. You're going to wrap your thread around about 7 to 8 times for this pattern. You're going to use your thumb to hold it there as you continue to wrap. Now I like to use either my belly or the table, and I'm going to pinch those knots or those twists with my fingers, and then I'm going to just roll them in between and pull the needle and the thread, and it just helps the thread and needle come through. And then you're just going to pull all the way and then bring it backwards to the end point and pull. And I use my fingernail to pull down and pull the thread. And then you're just going to take your needle and go down to secure those down. Just like that. Now we'll go on this side. We'll do the poke and stab this time. You come up, you're going to go down, and you're just going to pull through a little bit so you have all this extra thread on top. And then you're going to bring your needle back up to the start position. You're going to hold it underneath with your finger. Use your thumb to hold your thread, and you're going to twist it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see it wrapped on the needle. You can kind of lean your needle this way to make sure you have enough twist. I'm going to add another one. Okay. Then you're going to bring your pointer finger up. You're going to hold those twists, pull it through, use your fingernail to hold it, and then tack it down. And I do 6 per these little flowers, so I go the outside and then the center, and then I go in between. So we'll do a couple more here. You come up and down. This is the way I like to do it, is the poke and stab. So I'll come down, pull it through just a little bit, and bring it back up. I'm going to use my left hand to hold. And we're going to twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the needle down a little bit to see. And this is the longest one, so you may have to do a couple more. And you're going to hold and pull through, pull toward the end. Use your fingernail to help guide and then poke it down. I'll show 2 more. We'll finish this flower. So up. And you're coming down. And if it seems like it's a little loose, just kind of rub it between your fingers as you're pulling, and it will help tighten those wraps up. Get back down. I don't know if I have enough to finish this one. We'll see. And that's how you do the bullion stitch. And that gives a different texture to your pattern and a different look to the flower. Well, if you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching to the end. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you got something out of this, that you'll learn how to do the bullion stitch to give you some more stitching in your embroidery arsenal. Now that you can do a 2-thread lazy daisy to give some dimension and color variation in your flowers. And then also how to just add more color and texture by using 2 colors of floss in your French knots. Or maybe you're like, why didn't I think of that? And do your straight stitch and your French knots in one continual motion when you can. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And maybe share it with your friends. That really does help my channel, and I do really appreciate it. If you'd like to continue to support the channel, maybe hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. There is also a couple links in the description for my Amazon store. Buy me a coffee. You can also join my channel and get some additional perks and members only material. And I hope this has inspired you now to go out and try something else. If there's a stitch that you want to learn or a technique you want to learn, comment in the description below. Comment below and let me know, and we'll do a video on it. Be sure to watch every Tuesday, or every week I should say, for a new embroidery technique, stitch. Until then, happy stitching, my friends.